So today I am actually going to record myself trying out a couple of makeup artist tips, things that different makeup artists have recommended you do. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Everybody pray for me. It's that sort of thing where you get, even if you're not a makeup artist, you just get really set in your ways doing your makeup a certain way. Like you get used to certain things. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm healing from a bit of a breakout, so this is probably a good step, but I'm gonna do a Mary Greenwell sort of thing where she uses more foundation than you normally would and like really rubs it into your skin. And there's this one video where the model calls it the famous Mary Pummel or something like that, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna try it. So Mary calls it massaging the product into your skin. I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring myself to use quite as much foundation as she does. I am going to try to use more than normal, and I'm not going to do my normal little like gentle rub and pat. I'm really going to rub it in. So good old MAC face and body, and we're going to do it. Okay, even putting that much on my hand just made me die a little on the inside. All right, I'm scared. I'm scared. It's going to happen, and I'm just going to... Oh god, it's a lot. It's a lot. I feel like I'm putting on a face mask. This is so uncomfortable. This is so incredibly uncomfortable. Oh, jeez. Like, being this rough with my face kind of feels strange. Okay, okay. This is about twice as much as I would use on the first layer, to be honest. I need to like put this somewhere before it drips on me. I'm supposed to take it down my neck. Actually, I think I was supposed to put enough on that I could rub it all the way down my neck and be fine, but that's pushing it a bit far for me. I'm new. One step at a time. I'm not gonna lie to you. That looks pretty fucking gorgeous. That really did push it into my skin. Granted, face and body is such a thin, skin-like, beautiful foundation that I think it looks pretty good. It has a bit of a learning curve, but I think it looks pretty good almost no matter what you do. But I'm not gonna lie, that looks way better than I thought it was going to. So I've zoomed in for this one here, and I'm going to try and do two different tricks for this one. Very similar. One is from Lisa Eldridge, and one is from Ray Morris. So the trick is, I don't know if it's a trick so much as it's something I noticed her doing. Lisa Eldridge also loves the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. And so I've watched her use it a bunch of times, and she usually uses a flat foundation brush, and this is actually one from Prescriptives. My mother gave it to me, and when my mother gave it to me, by the way, she had used it to apply her foundation for years and never washed it. It took me so much Dr. Bronner's and olive oil to get the like years old foundation out of this. The woman has skin like Teflon. But anyway, Lisa Eldridge applies this with a thin brush, and it just seems to give this really beautiful natural glow. Now, I don't normally use a brush for my highlighter because, like, I hate brushes. I hate washing them. But I figured I would give this a try, and I'm going to use, like, a half pump. You need very little of this stuff. And then Ray Morris, usually I only see, like, YouTubers do this. I don't usually see professional makeup artists do this. But Ray Morris recommended putting a little shimmer in the little lip trough here, for lack of a better terminology. So what I'm going to do is just like spread the Becca a bit on the back of my hand. So instead of having a blob, I have something I can pull from. And this one doesn't scare me as much. But, okay, here we go. Oh, and I also, I'm going to link to videos of them using these techniques. In the video I'm going to link to for Lisa Eldridge, she actually was applying the highlighter before blush. So I'm not wearing blush yet. I did put on some concealer and I curled my eyelashes, and I had to be very careful about the concealer because I had the worst hives breakout I've had in months yesterday. So I'm trying to be as gentle with my face as possible. So, and you know, when you have hives, it's just the way that they, for lack of a better term, the way they heal doesn't really lend itself to covering yourself in concealer. So, skin's not going to be as perfect as I want it to today, I don't think. This is making it pretty easy to apply, but now I'm going to do I have to lean in for this. I'm going to try and do the lip froth part. This is really scary for me. So, do I just like, do I fold? No, that doesn't, okay. We're gonna leave the lip out. Okay, here we go. Okay, I don't think that's going to be very noticeable on camera, but, or until I take the HD pictures. The actual cheek highlight, I think looks really stunning. And, the lip, kinda. I'm being as dainty as possible, but, like, honestly, yeah, shimmer on my top lip, it's not awful. I think it'd be pretty for pictures, but it mostly reminds me of like when I work out and I sweat. I don't know why, but this is TMI. I sweat the worst between my nose and my upper lip, so that's kind of what it makes me think of. So, like, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but I don't think I'd do it again. I do, however, I don't know if you can see this, love the cheek highlight and how skin-like it looks. This really does apply it in such a thin layer that it just sort of presses it into your face. So that I really like. Next one is from Pat McGrath, and I know I've ragged on her makeup line a lot, mostly because I just think it's very expensive and it's frustrating that you can't buy these very expensive products separately. You have to usually get them in a kit. But as a makeup artist, I completely respect her. I think she does amazing looks. And she did this look for Dolce & Gabbana that I just loved. And she used blush, sort of like in the crease of the eye to emphasize it and give it a soft but more defined look. So I did do my eyebrows and they are not cooperating today, so we'll see how that ends up going for me. And I applied some eyeshadow primer and I put a nude color, the Wet n Wild Brulee, all over my eyes. The only powder blush I have is the Tarte Party Blush, which was the free one that you got for your birthday from Sephora. It's the only powder blush that I have. I don't really have a desire to wear powders in most cases, but it is this even showing up? I'm sorry. It is this really beautiful nude color. So I've never used this before. I have no idea if it's any good. I got a big fluffy Real Techniques. I can't talk today. Techniques. Kind of looks like a rosy color, actually kind of similar to what Pat McGrath used on that runway. So I'm terrible at eyeshadow. I want everyone to pray. I'm so scared. Here we go. Oh. Oh, ma'am. Okay. Okay. As soon as she's like, I've heard people say to use blush and bronzer on your eyes before, and I've just never really done it much because I'm lazy. But when I saw her doing it and I heard her recommend it, I was like, you know, it kind of makes sense because blush and bronzer are generally meant to go on in a way that just emphasizes and improves the skin. So that, it's probably showing a little darker and harsher on camera, but it's, in real life, it's a very soft, slightly warm pink definition, like a rosewood kind of color. I dig that. Update, this is the third time I have pulled foundation out of my smile lines. Definitely too much foundation. But I did go on ahead and use that same flat foundation brush to apply a little bit of cream blush. I went with Stila Lilium because it's a nice nude color. And this is not a makeup artist tip, but the product is new, so I figured I'd do it on camera. It's the Glossier Wowder. Full disclosure, I had enough store credit to get all three shades and the little brush for free. So it looks like that when you open it, and it's got this little mesh, and you're just supposed to put the brush in there and pull some out. So I've never used this before. It's brand new product. So I think they said to tap and swirl. It kicks up a shit ton of powder when I press my brush in there. Let's go here. Oh, okay, that's not bad. And then I'll just do a little bit up here. I pray that this doesn't eat my face because it has some kaolin in it, and kaolin can be very drying. And I guess I'll go down my neck a bit. A little over the chin. I don't really like sweat on my chin so much as I don't want anything to move there. Okay, so I did apply a little bit of setting spray, and because my face is hella dry, so I'm using up the last of the Cinema Secrets moisture spray, and hilariously I actually fanned my face dry with bell hooks. Hashtag feminism. Hashtag why'd you discontinue my spray, Cinema Secrets. Alright, so even with the moisture spray on, I mean, it looks, the Glossier Powder looks fine here and here, but on my chin it's not my favorite, and I think it's not sitting very well over the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. It's working fine on MAC Face and Body, but on that concealer it seems to be sticking a bit. I just tried to find my lipstick without my glasses on, so we're not going to do that. So mascara is on. Time for the last step, and it's another Ray Morris one from that lipstick video, and she said to keep your mouth looking youthful, do not extend your lipstick all the way to the outer corner. And from that sounds confusing, but from watching her, it looked like what she meant was when you're trying to make your lips look fuller, don't overdraw the outer corner, and don't go super deep. Keep the fullness to the center of the lip. To keep it from looking very aging is the way she put it. So I'm going to use NARS Apoline here. This is a shade that I think will go well with the blush on the eyes. So I'm going to start in the pout. And make that the fullest part. And she likes to use a square lip brush, Ray Morris. I'm afraid I'm a little too much of a Mary Greenwell. I prefer to just use the lipstick bullet. And then here. Okay, so that's the majority of the color just in the center of my lip. And then what I'm going to do is use the very tip just to pull this down to the outer corners, but I'm not going to push it out as much as I might otherwise. So I'm just going to. On one hand, this is not too different from my normal lip shape. It's not that dramatically different, but I didn't pull the lower lip down as far as I normally like to, and I kept most of the fullness in here, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I do think it's a little nicer. So the end result, the foundation, I think the actual massaging technique of rubbing it intensely into your face really does give a beautiful finish. I think the amount that she uses is just too much for somebody like me with very dry, dehydrated skin and very deep, fine lines. I have pulled the foundation out of my smile lines 3 times already. So on me, a little too much foundation, but the actual massaging method was really beautiful. The Lisa Eldridge applying the highlighter with the flat foundation brush, I absolutely love it. I think it looks so beautiful, so seamless. I also did the cream blush with the flat brush, and it went over top very well. I don't think I would do this for all of my highlighters, but for the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, which can be quite intense, definitely going to stay with the flat foundation brush. The eyes with the blush in the socket, obsessed. I actually went and put the Tarte blush into my eyeshadow drawer because that's probably the only way I'm going to use it, but I do think it's absolutely beautiful, and it's so natural. Like, you really wouldn't be able to tell I had it in there unless you looked very closely or you knew a lot about makeup, but it just looks so good, and it provides so much warmth and definition. And the lipstick, Not crazy about the highlighter in the lip trough. I think it makes me look a bit sweaty. But I do like the actual lip shape. I do like keeping the fullness primarily to the center. So, I think that was relatively successful. I will do my hair and take some pictures, see how it looks in photos, and that will be the real test.